Good evening, everyone. My name is Manoj Gupta. Today's session is about electronics, and we'll start in like 2 minutes as people are still joining. So just wait for 2 minutes. Hi, Shubh. How are you doing?
Hello, sir. I'm fine. Thank
Good,
you.
good, good. How is the weather in Delhi?
Yeah, now it's fine.
That's fine. Okay,
Yeah, not too
great.
hot, not too cold.
Not too cold. Okay, great, great. I am in Bangalore, and the weather here is super good. It it was raining like a couple of days back. It's not raining right now. So yeah,
I heard
yeah.
about Bangalore. It's a awesome. Why people
Awesome.
live in Bangalore because of weather.
Yeah, 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 yeah. How are you, Vidushi? Welcome to the webinar.
Hi Manoj, I'm good. How are you?
Good, good, good. How's the weather around you?
It's good. It's becoming pleasant now.
Okay, great. How are you, Neha? We cannot hear you, Neha. Sorry, actually, I'm not able to hear.
Yeah, I'm audible now. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
All
you're
well
good.
here. Yes, all excited about this webinar.
Great, great. So I think today's topic is, I'll start. I think we're like 2 minutes up. So I'll start. Today's topic is about electronics in ONDC. Electronics is a very interesting category. And I'll tell you the reason why electronics is a very interesting category is because it is an $80 billion category in India. It's huge. If you multiply that with the it comes in like lakhs and crores kind of stuff, right? So it is a very, very, very big category. A large percentage, of that category, like 12 billion, is actually online. It is 12 billion is of electronics is sold online. And one of the stats which is surprising is that half of the smartphones in India are sold online, right? So electronics is a huge category. If you look at smartphones, TV, appliances, ACs, fridges, even like accessories like your cables, data cables, and those kind of stuff. Or if you look at iron and your choppers and all those things, right? It is a very, very vast category, and that's why it's so exciting. And today basically I have a very interesting panel. I have Vidushi from ONDC. She's a category head, and she leads the whole adoption of electronics in ONDC. So Vidushi, welcome to the webinar. I have Shubh, who basically is a very is a founder of a very, very large B2B in company in electronics called Brandshops. Shubh, look forward to you from and get some advice about and some point of view from a ONDC and B2B perspective. And you're live in ONDC. So one of the interesting thing is Brand Shops actually is live in ONDC as of today. And Neha, she leads growth at Plotch.ai. Plotch.ai is the largest ONDC Rails infrastructure company right now in India. So she's going to tell a lot about how adoption is happening from multiple and how you can become part of. So if you have any questions about how to be part of ONDC, Neha has basically taken a lot of network participants into ONDC. So really an very interesting panel that we have. I would if any of you have
Agree,
anything to
actually.
say, happy to. Yeah, any questions that you have? Sorry, I heard someone say something.
RAR1.
Sorry, can you be mute? I think we are hearing
Is
something.
your EVS class done?
Okay, one second. Yes. I think what I will do is we'll make it very, 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 I would say just a Q&A kind of session. And I'll start with Vidushi, you, because you are at the center of everything, happening in ONDC kind of stuff. What are you seeing in electronics? And I'm gonna, I know electronics were launched like few months back. with variety of categories, kind of stuff. What are you seeing, Vidushi? And would love to hear your thoughts.
Thanks, Manoj. So we're seeing that the category is at a very interesting space. So as you said, it was launched a few months ago. So like as ONDC, we started with online food delivery and grocery. And then after a few months, I think somewhere around March, April is when the other categories were launched, including electronics. And since then, we have seen a huge amount of growth month on month onto the network. So electronics, as you would know, is a relatively high value purchase for a shopper, and therefore the kind of products that are being sold on the network are in the category of, for example, audio, accessories, wearables, and we are seeing huge amount of traction on mobiles and on consumer durables now. And given
Right.
that we are entering festive season, we are very excited because this is the, like, as the category says, this is the season for the whole category, and the brands are super excited to be a part of it as well. So yeah, it's an interesting, exciting space to be in.
No, no, definitely. I think from if you look at the whole e-commerce, right, the fashion, electronics, and probably food is are the three big categories today, and that's what makes this electronics category very exciting. Interestingly, what I've seen is that electronics, the price points actually range from like 50 rupees to like 5 lakh kind of stuff, right? So it's one of the few categories where actually you can find like a 5 lakh kind of products also selling, and 50 rupees also selling, and that's and that also creates problems, right? For example, if I have to if I have to buy like 5 lakh rupees TV or those kind of stuff, the whole EMI stuff also kicks into picture, and that can create some friction. So I think we'll talk about that in later. Would love to hear Shubh. What are you working on? You are like seeing a lot of stuff outside of ONDC, and now you have joined ONDC. What are you seeing? Just lay us your B2B. We are looking for B2B advice from you and stuff. Yeah.
So first of all, thank you, Manojji, Plotch, and ONDC to let enter electronic stuff, because earlier the perception of the people is ONDC means a food delivery company.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now we are very happy that people already assume that it is not related to food only.
Yes.
Because my whole career from last 25 years majorly attached with electronic only.
Yeah.
So as Manojji said, the total, if we see the total import in India in last year, then it is around 700 plus billion dollar. So within that, $100 billion belongs to electronics.
100 billion you're saying comes import is electronics.
Yes, $100
Wow.
billion is
Wow. Wow.
electronic import.
And what are these categories if you have to lay out broadly?
100 billions is all majorly mobile phone accessories and other stuffs,
Okay. Okay.
because this market is very huge.
Got
So
it.
uh, whatever is made in India, also a lot of things are imported because the raw component and everything is not here. But what happened in B2B? See, everything comes in India. There are multiple ways of selling. Some are B2B organized channel.
Yeah.
Some are the third party B2B multi-vendor marketplace. And some are unorganized. So when the ONDC comes now, then I wish that it can help a lot of, first of all, it will help unorganized player, because there are a lot of regional player in India, like who operates in 5 state or northern or eastern or south. Actually, people come with $1 million, $2 million. They don't have capacity like a few $1 million can go entire India,
Hmm.
because they need a lot of, let's say they have everything, but to get visibility also they need to spend a hell
So
of money.
basically, what you're saying is that a lot of small, players in electronics. and
Mm-hmm.
it is a very unorganized space right now. And India is basically, if you look at it, is a it's a collection of very very small micro communities and micro, we can say economies, you can say that.
Yeah.
And with
This is the,
ONDC kind of players, right, ONDC kind of ecosystem,
mm-hmm.
is basically a lot of that is getting organized, is being brought together and saying here is one ecosystem who is saying that all these organized players can discover each other, right? If
Yeah.
I have to just extend that, right?
Yeah. So let's say we organize our own D2C. So
Mm,
same with ONDC, we can manage our own B2B.
mm.
See, if you go to unorganized market, there is a lot of people have lot of products and lot of money, but unorganized player can't sell the product in each and every part of India. There are 7,000 sub district in India. Okay, so 7,000, it is very hard, and zero point 0.6 to 0.7 million villages. It is very hard to make the infrastructure to go into each and every city.
Yes, yes, yes.
We can build this infrastructure under ONDC, where each and every product can be visible. See what happened. Generally, people don't want to see each and every product, but if the ONDC reach anywhere, doesn't matter because of food or because of electronic or any product, then it is very easy that unorganized product sitting in Delhi or Calcutta or anywhere, they can showcase their product to entire India.
Yeah. So that's
This
basically I think you have joined as a seller app, right? And you basically are offering you are aggregating all these small, you know, what you're saying is unorganized, and then basically organizing them, and then pushing them into the network so that people can buy B2B, to transactions kind of stuff.
uh,
And on
actually,
the other side, I think what we are seeing is that Neha, if Spice Smart is basically is completely a beat electronics buyer app, right? And it's very interesting. Spice Smart, Spice Money, basically they operate in the tier two towns, which was Shubh is trying to say, that there's so much of you know uh, connectivity that ONDC can give to people who are on the buyer side and the seller side, and actually connect. Neha, what's your thought on that? How Spice Money thinking about it, because you're interacting with them as a buyer app?
Exactly, exactly. So we are seeing a lot of traction happening in this category right now with all the different buyer apps as well as seller apps with whom we are interacting. We are seeing that electronics is one category everybody is talking about. So there is something around it, and Spice Money is one of the buyer apps who initially had all the categories, and now they are slowly gravitating towards only electronics, and there is a reason for that. And they did a small trial where they got phenomenal response from the customers, and their majority of the target group or the customers, they are based in rural India, and they had products ranging right from 500 rupees to any x number of rupees, as high as that, but um, the majority traction was in 500 to 1500 kind of price range. And because of that phenomenal response, they thought, that is one category they definitely need to explore more. They need to promote that more. So they are now changing their entire the buyer app skin to only electronics category. So that's a big signal.
No, no, it's very interesting that,
Action.
Spice Money, which said that I will operate in all categories, is now saying, what, I'm just going to focus on electronics. And it's a big signal in a lot of ways. And I think they got a lot of orders from Bihar and
Yes, from Uttar
Chhattisgarh and those
Pradesh,
kind of stuff.
Maharashtra.
It's just interesting, that we think that the demand actually, major demand should come from metros, where we believe there's a lot of purchasing power. But
Right,
actually, a lot of orders come from Bihar and Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh and those kind of stuff.
right. And
Manoj,
so,
Yeah,
yeah,
Vidushi,
with
yeah.
sorry, I was just adding to that point. This is something that we are seeing on the network as well. That the demand for the category is not limited to metros. In fact,
Hmm.
metros in fact are a small part of it. The like huge amount of demand you are getting from tier two, tier three cities all across India. So the aspiration for good products and for choices, etc., definitely is there and is showing up in a massive way.
My first order for my B2B platform was from Andaman Nicobar, Port Blair.
Andaman Nicobar, yeah.
Yes.
See, ONDC is all about access. One of the interesting things about ONDC is that, and what UPI also did, is that it giving access to folks who don't have access. Right? It is the next 90% that you want to reach to. It is the next 10 to 50 crore. The first 10 crore already have access. Is the next 10 to 50 crore, right? And that basically is what is showing, what we are telling, and what I'm hearing is basically that's 10 to 50 crore. That unlocking of that is the real value that is getting extracted, and proof point is what Spice Money is saying, and what Shobh is saying, and what Vidushi is saying, to that extent. So I think I
Another,
think yeah, Neha,
yeah,
you got.
I just wanted to add one point here that it's a very interesting thought that people consider buying an electronics as an investment. So if you're buying food, it's consumed immediately. However, if you're buying a earphone or a television or anything, it's like an investment for people. So in long term, they are able to feel they are getting some value. So which is why even in rural areas, in remote areas, everywhere, this is the thought that they have while they're purchasing something in this category. So
No,
which makes it
definitely.
different from the rest of the categories, right?
Yeah. No, definitely. I think very interesting for perspectives that we have heard here. Anyone has any question up to any of the panelists, or any general question about ONDC also? Because we get a lot of questions. What is ONDC in these webinars? Although we are very specific about electronics, but feel free to ask any questions if you have. Great. I think what we'll go to the is basically the next set of questions, right? So if I have to become, let's say, if I have to join ONDC, and in electronics, what are the steps that I need to do? What am I looking at, kind of stuff? Vidushi, anything you want to add? Neha, maybe you can also add and show your journey into ONDC. Also, you can share snippets, uh, because that's one of the questions that we get a lot of times. That Tika, you are saying this is great, ONDC is great, but how do I participate? How do I become part of it? Yeah, Vidushi, you want to
So
take that first? Yeah.
yeah. So as for any category, there are different roles. So there is a buyer side role and there are seller side roles. From a buyer side, if you are an application or a website which has a base which you think you would be interested in electronics, you can come in as a buyer application and enable your customer base to shop through the network with the help of multiple seller applications. If you are a seller, a manufacturer or an aggregator or a reseller, basically you have something of electronics to sell. You can come in as a seller network participant, which means that you come in on the network directly and you're able to sell your products. Or you can also come in as a seller, which is that you sort of come in through a seller network participant. In both of these cases, your catalog would be available on the network. You will be discoverable on the network. You'll be able to get orders through the network. So yeah, these are the arenas in which you can associate yourself if you are related to electronics.
So one is a buyer, as a buyer app, if you have traffic and if you can generate
Yeah,
demand. One is as a seller
yeah,
app, that basically you are aggregator of sellers, or you yourself are selling your inventory, right?
yeah.
And as a seller, so that you can join ONDC network through a seller app, which basically is a gateway to enter into the network. So either of these
Yes.
three are a potential way to enter into the network. Neha, what's the journey like for any, if I join as a seller app or a buyer app to become, start
Yeah,
transacting, what are the 2 or 3 or 4 things that
yeah,
they see in the network? Yeah.
yeah. So basically, if somebody wants to join the network as a seller app, they can either be an ISN or an MSN, right? So if somebody is an MSN, which is a multi-seller kind of a seller app, where if like for example, a brand shop, we have Mr. Subh Agarwal here, so he has multiple sellers who are supplying electronics, and they sell through this seller app, which is an aggregator, right? So this is an example of a multi-seller seller app, and then we have the other model, which is ISN, which is inventory based model. For example, Bluestar, that's a electronics brand, and they are big in ACs. They have just gone live on the network, and they are ISN because they manage their own inventory. So they don't have other sellers who are affiliated to them. So this is one thing. There are two types, and if somebody wants to join in, uh, they need to have a network participant account. They need to have a domain, right, which we get registered. So Plotch takes care of all of this. They handhold them. They ensure that all these things they can get quickly the account creation, um, and putting their catalog together. So in fact, I was just checking that somebody has asked that they do not have a ready online catalog. So maybe they come from an offline background, so for them, it's not very difficult. We completely help them put everything together, the images, the details about the products, and whatever is the mandatory information, because that is also required on ONDC. I'm sure Vidushi would agree with me. There are certain things, certain attributes like what's the country of origin, and other details which are mandatory, which needs to come along with the product information. We help the sellers to put everything together, and then so within 2 to 4 weeks we make them live on the network. Plotch does all the heavy lifting bit, so there is not much which is required from the seller NP side. As I told, just these few things which needs to be taken care of. And on the other side, if somebody wants to
There is
be a buyer,
a certification process, right? Neha, where the logs are certified and all those things are there, right? That
yes,
also is something where dashboard certification and the
absolutely,
ops
absolutely,
certification.
yes, yes, yes. So
Yeah,
we work very closely with all the ONDC teams to get all the certifications done quickly and properly. And also there are certain mandatory things like the IGM, which needs to be implemented, which is issue and grievance management tool, and also RSP, which is the reconciliation settlement protocol that uh, Plotch provides. So again, the seller NP doesn't need to think or too much about it. We take care of all of that. It's implemented, all the logs are submitted, approved, and all of that. So that is taken care of end to end. So yes, so it
great.
becomes much easy for any seller NP who wants to come and launch themselves on ONDC. As I would like to tell again that Bluestar we had made live in just 12 days. So that was in record time, very quickly. So we are able to move fast. That's
Great,
from the seller NP side.
great, great. So, how has been your journey to join ONDC? Has been, what are the, you know, 2 or 3 things that maybe you found good or challenging, whatever, what has been your experience till now in joining ONDC network? And yeah, because you are actually the live participant here who has joined here.
Shubh, are you asking Shubh, right?
Shubh, yes, yes, Shubh, Shubh, I'm asking Shubh, yes.
So, if we talk about my journeys, I tell you frankly, I will not hide anything in webinar.
No, no,
So,
yeah, 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 please, yes.
see, I'm a person of offline B2B. I'm doing
Hmm,
global export from China.
hmm,
Okay, in UK, Australia, everywhere. So when COVID, I came here. Then I think Alibaba is in China. Then why don't we make in India? Then I find Udan, Arju, or multiple platforms. Then end of the day, I find out that all are rivals of brands or sellers.
hmm.
They all just want to kill the price and selling anywhere. So I started something, my B2B own multi-vendor marketplace, and very good. So then again, I found out chicken and egg story. Like when I go to buyers, they say, hey, you don't have a lot of sellers, right? If I have a lot of sellers, I onboard a lot of sellers, then say, you don't have a buyers. So I thought if I bring buyers first, then sellers I don't have. If I bring sellers, I don't have. So I put focus on buyers. Then how will I bring sellers? Then the government of India helped me. They said, don't worry, you don't need buyers. You become the ONDC participant. You only need to open the sellers who don't need guarantee to sell your products. You only need to. So now I can help sellers to onboard. I also can help them to sell the product. But initially, they don't need my guarantee. So first, I launched the seller platform. Then eventually, I will also launch the buyer app. But the journey, when I started, uh, I contact Manoj itself first, and his response was very quick. Within, I think, the same day, someone connect me from the Plotch. So they told me that the it will take around 6 weeks. But first week, I think we started all the journey, and the whole team is working. Even sometime we do 3 or 4 calls with Plotch team. Everything is very smooth.
No, no,
And
great to hear that. I'm quite sure you will see a lot of success in ONDC. Uh, uh, I think what we need is more like more of Shubh Agarwals in this country who are looking to join ONDC. And what Shubh said is a very clear pain point. A lot of these have that. Hey, I have supply, but I don't have demand. I have demand, but I don't have supply. And ONDC has beautifully solve that problem. Either you come as a seller or you come as a buyer app, right? So that buyer app doesn't need to worry about supply, and supplier doesn't need to worry about.
I want to add few points.
Yeah.
If we talk about retailers' pain point, who are actually the buyer for ONDC B2B, sometimes they don't know from whom to buy. They want to buy, but they don't know whom to buy because the company appoint distributor maybe one in a district or one in a state. No company, I mean, very less, maybe around 10 or 15 companies have power who can appoint distributor at sub-district level. So it is very hard. Sometimes the goods goes through few channels. Okay, number one. Number two, the distributor is sitting far, maybe 200 kilometers far from them. They don't trust. They don't get any credit or anything. Or middleman charge high. So ONDC is bringing BNPL or anything, right? And the trust that money won't goes anywhere else. It's in nodal account. So a lot of things will help. And the ONDC, they get the authenticate seller and the not fake products, because generally the distributor a lot of fake product. I have a list of things, if I started, maybe the webinar will be 7 p.m. soon. But
no, these are very good nuggets. We are hearing from someone who has been in operating in for 20 years. So definitely.
Because see, my experience is making a mobile phone from 500 small parts to, in 2017, Reddington India Limited, I think one of the biggest company who is listed in 17 countries. He was my distributor.
Okay.
Okay. So I know from manufacturing to retail. So just if we want the ONDC to be bigger success, we want to remove the pain point of not only buyers, also the sellers, because seller have a lot of pain points. Sometimes the person who buy from sellers, they just buy and sell and utilize their money because they give credit. Big distributors can get credit. So if ONDC can help them to get the direct consumer or retailers with all the features, then I think nobody can stop ONDC.
No, definitely. I think that's the power of ONDC. We'll take few questions now because we have few questions here. So I think one question is, Neha, to you, that what is the reason for switching to electronics category, for Spice Smart, for Spice Money?
So, to give you the details, they did a small trial run for a couple of months focused on electronics, and they got phenomenal response, which is why they thought that this is one category they need to focus on. So that was a simple reason. So they had numbers to back their decision.
Got it. So basically, they did a trial and they realized, okay, this category has so much potential. And given that they are operating in tier two, tier three towns as a assisted fintech, now they want to do assisted commerce kind of stuff, right? So So that's
Right.
this answer. Balaji has a question saying that hi, we have 1,000+ home and decor stores in Chennai, Better Home, 12,000 plus across India, and I'm planning to bring sellers onto ONDC. Can sellers switch MSNs? If so, what is the moat for MSN for aggregators like me? So basically, it's a great question, Balaji. That if I am MSN and tomorrow I bring all these sellers, and then tomorrow sellers think, okay, you know what, I'm actually doing very well. Why am I paying Balaji, for example, whatever commission? Let me just join as a node myself, as a buyer app, as a seller app, sorry, directly kind of stuff, right? Now, Balaji, let me tell you what there are pro and cons of everything, right? Of course, if your seller, can the seller can switch and become a MSN themselves, or become a ISN themselves in the network, but there's a cost to it. The cost is that it is not an easy journey to become a seller app themselves, right? So a lot of sellers actually choose seller app because they can become live very fast. So while a seller can go live very fast within like a day or two, or within a week, a seller app can take like 4 weeks, as Neha is saying, right? So there's a con for that part. Now, seller apps manage a lot of things like payments, grievance. The first thing that they do is these two with the buyer apps, right? Now, suddenly that seller who is becoming a seller has to do that, right? So there's a benefit of becoming seller app, but there's also a con for seller, and you have to weigh these things, right? So I don't think some sellers may think to become a seller, but not. I don't think everyone will start to think like that, and vice versa. Vice versa, that seller app will start to say, okay, why am I seller app? I should become a seller, kind of stuff. That's anyone has any point to add to that? I thought that that is something that came to my mind.
No, you're
Uh,
perfectly right, Manoj. There, hello.
yeah, Vidushi, we can hear you. Yes,
Uh, Yeah, yeah. No, I just wanted to compliment your point. So as I said, there are pros and cons of everything.
yes,
And therefore, becoming a seller through a marketplace seller node versus becoming a seller application yourself, there's a fair bit of effort that goes into it, both in terms of time, resources, and how you manage your operations, etc. as well. So yeah, so the benefit that marketplace seller node brings to a seller, uh, uh, it's actually that's the evaluation that the seller needs to do as to
yes,
how much impact does it make in my business, and
yes,
how much resources I'm putting for it, and then
yes.
take a call. And that's a value addition that you can provide as a marketplace seller node.
Great. No, definitely,
Also,
Viren.
I think,
Yeah,
yeah, I would like to add that here in the network, all the control over the payments, whether they're happening regularly, on time, etc., that's between buyer app and seller app that it is monitored very closely, right? However, the payments that happen from seller app to seller is out of the purview of ONDC, right? So again, that's a plus of being a node where you have full control and visibility over when the payments are coming to you from the buyer app side, right? That's a big
yeah.
plus.
So there are pro and cons of being a seller app and buyer app, and you have to evaluate basically based on these capabilities or resources and those kind of stuff. Deepak has a question that I am the founder of a startup in computer electronics category. We are launching in Q1 2024. My question is there a more concrete data available to gauge the demand of our category of products? Analytics data that what customers are looking for. So Deepak, basically you are asking that I am launching something new and I want to see if ONDC can help me get better analytics, whether there is a demand for that category or not, right? Uh,
Yeah,
yeah. Or you want to add anything, Deepak? Understood, right?
yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, Deepak, we can hear you.
Yeah, so the products that we are selling will be priced between 2500 to 3000. Those are mechanical keyboards,
Mm-hmm.
and the demand for it's a high end product in the entire category.
Mm-hmm.
So if I as a small team have to dedicate resources to fulfilling orders on the ONDC network,
Mm.
I need to know if there is demand for my kind of products in the network itself. Is there any way that I can find it out?
Okay, so basically you're saying whether I can find it out before I become part of ONDC. That's
Yeah,
that's the question, right?
as a small startup, what we are doing initially is we are using Amazon fulfillment centers to
Mm.
dispatch our products. But with ONDC, I have to dispatch the products myself.
See, if you are looking for demand, right? That
I,
is.
I I want to know if the demand is there on the network since it's in its nascent stages.
Mhm.
If I have to dedicate resources to the network initially when it's in its nascent stages, does it make sense for me? Is my question.
Actually, I would actually look at it very differently. ONDC should be your first natural place to launch. In fact, we are pushing a lot of folks, a lot of brands to say you should first launch on ONDC because there is no extra cost for you. For example, today if you launch on Amazon, you are available only on Amazon. You are limited
Yeah,
to Amazon's algorithms and those kind of stuff. If you launch in ONDC, you become available on Paytm, PhonePe, Misho, all the buyer apps on this side kind of stuff, right? So immediately you list once and you are available everywhere kind of stuff, right? So although you are saying that I need to put a dedicated team here, fundamentally your ROI in ONDC is going to be much higher from that
yeah,
perspective. And you have variety of buyer apps, right? For example, you have Spice Money, which is only tier 2, tier 3 kind of stuff. You have Paytm, who has a wide array of millions of people come on Paytm, right, from variety of places, right. And then you have Misho, who where the primarily I'm assuming is female gender, it's primarily 60% will be female kind of stuff. A variety of customers who are evaluating your products, and you can get a better idea of whether your products are being liked by women, men, tier 2 towns, urban, and those kind of stuff, right? That's basically my perspective, and I get very excited about ONDC network because of variety, because you pretty much have everything, the whole India here to evaluate, and you're not looking at just Amazon,
okay.
which is 10, 15, 20% of India.
But my question as a seller for the network is there any plans in the future to introduce such a thing so that it's better for the sellers and the buyers both if the data is available about what things that people are searching for
Deepak,
on the network. Yeah,
Deepak, we are launching the whole computer. In computer accessories, there are three parts. One is networking, one is peripheral, and one is software, right?
yeah,
So, as a B2B and B2C, we are going to launch all of the products on ONDC because doesn't matter there is demand or not. Demand need to create, if there is no one, right, how people will buy. So people need to know. Number one, this is your answer that somebody is going to launch. Okay. Number two, if Amazon, just like Amazon.com, if Amazon India support MCF, multi-channel fulfillment, you don't need to ship by yourself. You can use Amazon MCF also fulfill the demand of ONDC.
okay. So I can have my products at a third party logistic warehouse and they will fulfill it.
ONDC doesn't care how you supply. You need to fulfill the demand. You need to have POD, proof of delivery.
Okay,
Then it's fine. So
okay,
this your products will be in ONDC very soon, and supply you can make via any third party. Doesn't matter Amazon or any MC or any third party or Shiprocket warehouse. It is fine. You don't need to do that from your warehouse. You need to do it by yourself.
okay. Got it.
And to answer your question, Deepak, in more detail, is that analytics is a piece which I think a lot of people are evaluating, because ONDC is going to be, of course, you know, a mine of data. There's a lot of data getting generated. For example, in which pin code Parle G is getting searched, how many times in a day, and those kind of stuff, which can be very useful for FMCG companies, kind of stuff, right? To plan their supply chain and those things. The same thing can also be useful to folks like you, that who is searching keyboard in which pin code, and is how many searches are happening, and stuff. Today I don't think anyone is doing that, and I think that there can be data challenges, but the way I know a lot of companies who are very excited about how do I put analytics layer on top of ONDC, and that give that analytics to folks like you who want to launch the business, and also give like pricing indication, for your price, for your product, what's the best price you can get, kind of stuff, and where you should launch, which areas, geographies, kind of stuff. uh
Okay.
yeah, I think
Deepak,
we
main point is your mobile number, email address will be visible to all of the buyers. So anybody who see your product over the ONDC, they can see your detail and they can call you directly also. So you might get offline distributors also. So it is
Okay.
beneficial to you. Maybe normal people will don't tell you directly, but if you can open the app and you can find the seller's brand contact directly over the ONDC.
Okay. Got it.
So, I mean, I shouldn't say, but it will help you to create your offline sales also.
No, it definitely can. A lot of possibilities are there, and so unfortunately, my battery is running out. Neha, would you want to continue for like 2 minutes before I come back and recharge?
Yeah, sure.
Uh,
So there is another question by Yogendra. In B2B, where payment is COD, how will the seller NP, buyer NP validate if payment is received, as their margins will be based on this, and never update the portal or cancel the order on the portal? What happens in these cases? Earnings of NPs can be hugely impacted. So, Vidushi, would you like to comment here? Because they're asking about COD. So, as of
Sure.
now, there is no COD. I would like you to add more.
Yeah, sure. So there's no COD on the network right now, but there will be COD on the network. In that case, the seller NP, and I can talk about the B2C environment first. When the payment is COD, the proof of delivery is basically logistics provider, because in that case they are the collector of payment, and that's how the transaction is being collected on the portal. What happens in this case? Earnings of NPs can be hugely impacted. Could you please elucidate on this a little more, Yogendra?
So, so what he's trying to say is that maybe there's a customer who comes to any of the buyer apps, chooses a
Hmm.
product, maybe an electronics product, go and checks out the details of the seller and connects with
Hmm.
the seller directly, maybe asks for some additional discount and closes
Yeah.
the deal there and doesn't place an order. Or if there is already an order placed, he cancels it because he's got a better deal directly. That's what his concern is. In that case, the buyer suffer, not the seller and or the customer. That's what he's.
Okay, so first of all, Yugandhar, the amount of margins that exist in the system are very less for it to be an incentive to do such behavior. However, these behavior would happen, and these behavior like happen could happen today as well in various scenarios. Like in travel, you see that quite often with Uber, Ola drivers asking to sort of cancel the trip. But as a user, you may still decide to not cancel it because there's traceability involved in the transaction. Anything, especially in electronics, where after sales also becomes important. there is a proof of where you bought it from, when you bought it from, etc. That exists when you're buying it online. And therefore, as a user, you may decide to not cancel it and just go ahead with it, because the price differential that you might get by canceling it would be very less. So you're right, it can happen, but because the incentive is less and there are enough and more reasons, we don't see that to be as big a challenge. Quite honestly, it will always be a small percentage of the total revenue, which pretty much happens in every business.
Right, right, right. Absolutely agree with you, Vidushi there.
If we talk about B2B, sorry, COD is a very big trouble. It is
COD is a challenge, you're saying? Subh?
because when we send the goods on cash on delivery, then sometime if we don't have any money in our pocket, the buyer who bought, he can deny, he don't want. And B2B logistic amount is too high. So when the goods reach, if we deny, goods come back, that's called as a RTO, return. Then maybe the product value is 10,000, but the logistic is 2,000 or 1,500. So it gives a big loss. So at least when ONDC starts COD, they must implement that the partial COD. I mean, at least some percentage the buyer has to pay, and it should be non-cancellation. If ONDC want to make success, this has to implement.
Yeah, no, that's something we have also heard in multiple discussions, that, partial, like some like 20-30% is something that is prepaid, and then rest can be COD kind of stuff, is what the best practice is right now across the ecosystem.
Or other than COD, BNPL is the best option. Every user, COD is 10 days credit, right? The BNPL, buy now, pay later, can have 30 days. And nowadays, a lot of aggregators are onboarding on the ONDC. So other than COD, don't allow COD. We just tell them, okay, approve your limit and get the goods and then pay. That's fine.
An interesting thing is this BNPL actually can come from the fintech network, right? Of ONDC. So that because there are lenders who can then say, okay, because you have a ONDC order, actually I'll pay on your behalf to the
Example,
supplier.
Vidushi or Neha want to buy anything from my platform. She will come, mobile number, Aadhaar card, PAN card, connect UPI with bank, and she can take. She don't need to give me money today. Don't need COD. So make the things very easy, Within 10 minutes, everything checkout done. Don't need to COD that. You know what happened? COD, sometime the owner, let's say I'm the buyer. Okay, when the delivery person come, I'm eating the food. He say, oh, wait for 30 minutes. The delivery boy will not make. Maybe I go somewhere outside. I don't give cash to my staff. But BNPL is very easy. Courier person just drop the goods at his location and go away. Later, we need to pay the money. Because I know the pain, in my B2B portal. See, my intention is to convert my B2B portal 100% to ONDC, wherever ONDC supports me. Not me, like me, maybe hundreds of people want to create this thing.
Yeah.
So,
no, definitely.
I'm telling you the actual pain point. If we ignore this, then maybe a lot of questions will keep on coming like that. So we need to, before few minutes, sorry, I'm taking long time. I told you, if we safeguard sellers, then we can make the ONDC big. We has to think about sellers, not only buyers.
No, definitely. It has to be sort of looked and equalized, that a seller is as important as a buyer, and a buyer is as important as a seller. Otherwise, and both trust of these two entities, both of them are very, very important for the network to be successful. Definitely point taken. Any other questions anyone has? Because almost at the end of the session here.
Can I ask something?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So, Vidushi, when do you think that the ONDC can launch with full featured all the things from ONDC side? See, Manoj is ready, whatever you throw, he's ready to grab. But we are waiting for from your side that when will you allow all the features, all launch, all aggregators to go ahead with? Doesn't matter BNPL, shipping, logistic, B2B, multiple. I mean, each and every kind, like any seller or any buyer, the demand with you. And like you say, okay, you just ask me, and 7 days we will make it happen. So when we can reach on that place?
So, Shubh, as it is with any business or any operation, there is always prioritization between different things, and that is the case with features as well. So, there is one approach of fixing everything and then going into the market. There is another approach of going into the market and fixing and adding things as we sort of go in, because that helps with the learning. And that's where ONDC is. So we launched with a very basic protocol in place, and people like Manoj, a lot of other people sort of joined us at that point in time, where the protocol was very like at an elementary level is when we launched. But since then, there are a lot of inputs that have come from the community, from people like you, people like Manoj, that has helped the protocol to sort of get the enhancements. And of course, there is a lot, like there's a big way, a lot of things that can get added, but it's always again amongst in the prioritization bit. So we have like a few days back, we have launched version 1.2 of protocol, which takes into account a lot of features that are widely needed by the industry, based on the inputs that the industry has given. And because ONDC is a community led initiative, it's not, there's no single person who's sort of calling the shots. It's basically community feeding the requirements to us, co-creating with ONDC. So that'll how it'll go. So if you ask me, give me a date, I don't think I can give you a date. But what I can definitely tell you is it's on a like it's very rapidly moving towards the right decision, right situation, based on the inputs that are given by the community. So keep telling us what all is important to you, and we'll sort of keep building in that direction.
So earlier, Manojji said ONDC is willing import and export also. So what's the plan regarding import and exports? Like the
I may
people,
not be the
even
right
buyer want to
person to
buy from
comment.
Delhi.
I may not be the right person to comment on import and export, but for specifically that piece, maybe Manoj can have another webinar
Yeah,
where we
we
discuss
will have
just
another
import and
session.
exports. Yeah,
No, definitely
yeah.
we'll have another session. And Shubh, I think all your questions are valid. And of course, ONDC is a network, is a new concept, never has happened anywhere in the world. A lot of tech infrastructure is getting built. A lot of protocol is getting built, and all these are new. It is not, it's not been done. It's not like we are building next browser or next kind of fintech company kind of stuff which has happened, or it is completely new, and that's what makes it interesting and also challenging. Of course, ONDC team is working day and night to ensure that we get to that stage as quickly as possible. But it's definitely in a much better shape. I think in next 2-3 months, IGM, RSP, all your ratings and B2B and version 1.2,
1.2.
a lot of things will
Yeah.
just converge and gets to start make this a very, very interesting network from a maturity perspective. Nikhil, I think you have given a comment that nice session. Thanks for sharing, everyone. And I'm a co-founder of Unboxing Community, uh, an engineering community-led marketplace for electric and electronic products. We are planning to integrate with as an ONDC buyer app. It's great to see, Nikhil, that you are looking to join ONDC as a buyer app. Would love, if in 2 minutes, if you can tell us what you're doing. I think it will be useful for everyone. Maybe you can unmute and tell us uh, if you want to.
Sure, Manoj.
Yeah.
So thanks for hosting this. It's been informative, understanding Shubh's perspective, and Spice Money, the news that's interesting too. So what Unboxing Community is a community of engineers who review electric and electronic products for performance.
Okay.
And compile that data and share it on our marketplace. look at data and not how it happens currently, which is where you look at your tech communities, tech blogs, various tech influencers, a lot of hidden affiliate marketing. Here we're putting the product first. So initially we plan to launch in Singapore. We're still under, product is still under development. We plan to launch in Singapore, but when we heard about ONDC, we had informed Vidushi also a few months back. We thought, let us start here first. Let's not miss the boat.
No, very interesting. No, it is good to see that ONDC is becoming the first gateway for a lot of folks. I think this will happen a lot more frequently in future. But good to hear your story, Nikhil. Uh, Anyone has anything to add? I think Deepak, is there anywhere I can find clarity on ranking of the products? 100 brands sell Bluetooth speakers, for example, but only a limited space on the first page. Are the rankings the same across all the apps, or is it individualized? I don't know. Yeah, Vidushi, you want to add?
Manoj, yeah, I'll take that question. So Deepak, in the ONDC ecosystem, because it is a network and it's not a platform, no single entity knows end to end on what is being sold or what is being searched. So, for example, a buyer application will know about their platform as to what is being sold and what is being searched at their platform. Similarly, a seller application will know about them. They wouldn't know about others, and there is no central like data repository as it happens in case of platforms. So I'm sorry to disappoint you. There is no place where we can find where are we getting more searches. In fact, like we also want to find that out, but even ONDC doesn't know that. So what kind of searches, etc., are happening. We depend on buyer applications to give us those insights as to what all could be happening. Having said that, there is some directional sense that we have and the community has. So happy to connect with you separately to discuss those directional sense. But for sure, we wouldn't know in Bluetooth speakers which one's selling the most.
Yeah, that's actually great to know. If it's decentralized this way and like different platforms,
Yeah.
different companies can get a better chance instead of being
Yeah.
dominated by the big ones, like it's an
Yeah.
Amazon or Flipkart. That's great to know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So nobody completely knows. Not even ONDC knows to like 100% surety as to what is selling or what is being.
Okay, thank you.
Great. I think we almost at the end of our time right now. I want to thank Vidushi, for giving us a lot of nuggets about ONDC, and how it operates and electronics category. Neha about the spice money example, and the journey of NP into the network, and Shubh your practical, nuggets about how things work and how things don't work, which are very useful to hear because you are the folks actually the ONDC network is all about. People who want to build things in a bigger way, but are lacking the channels and access and ONDC, basically is sort of a big enabler, if I can call that, for folks like you and those kinds of stuff. So I think we had a great session. I learned a lot, and I'm quite sure you all learned a lot. We will do a lot of these sessions. Plotch basically is the leading enabler of ONDC from an infrastructure point of view, and we do these sessions almost every Friday. We would continue to share. That's the ethos of ONDC, that let's come together and start sharing and building together. And that's basically what we are trying to do. And I again want to thank all the panelists and thank you to all for attending this. And with that, I will see you next week. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Manoj, for having us. Thank you, everyone, for
Thank
joining.
you. Bye bye. Take care.